With an emphasis on sport and academics in our schools, the importance of the arts, and particularly music, are sometimes overlooked, to the detriment of not only the students, but to our whole community. Trafalgar High School teacher Ben Smith is leading the charge to change this and is showing what's possible when kids are given a chance to let their musical talents shine.
So as far as your dad goes, how much of an influence was his music on your life?
A lot. I guess I grew up listening to things like Creedence Clearwater Revival and Dire Straits and things like that, and he's a big jazz and blues fan, so I like listening to it. I don't enjoy playing jazz as much. I wish I could play it as well as he can, but that's not my first love when it comes to guitar. It's string bending and screaming guitar and rock. So I play guitar, bass, drums. I'm a hack at all of them. Play a bit of uke, a little bit of keyboard when I have to, but it's ugly to watch. And then when I first started having to learn how to play some things on piano, because I needed to teach kids how to play things, I got told off by the piano teacher for using what she called the chook foot method, which was playing chords like triads with the 3 fingers. So I've since learnt how I should play chords. As a classroom teacher, so I had my own class, so for example a grade 5-6 class, and I wanted to start a band with the kids because I thought they need to do music. There was no music program, so I'd take my class into the dusty old multi-purpose room, drag out all the instruments we had, bring stuff from home and teach the kids to rock out pretty much. So we started with like a Johnny Be Good, and we did Stand By Me, and we did Wild Thing and things like that. And they'd never done music, so when the opportunity came a few years later to actually start a music program, it was kind of, to me, it was like just a bigger version of what I already did at lunchtimes. And the kids that really liked music continued at lunchtimes, and then I found myself just making a lot of racket a lot of the time. So, and then I'd bring in an old dusty Tascam recorder and we'd record their music, and just a couple of 58s over a drum kit and do a rough as recording, and they thought they were rock stars, so that was kind of cool. And it just grew from there. So some negotiation with Principal Vicky at the time. Thought, oh, we can make this work, so they invited us to be part of a pilot program for musical futures in Australia, which originally started in the UK. And so we didn't really look back, so we were the only primary school running this particular approach, which had never had a label, but it was what I always did. It was just, what music do you like, what do you want to play, let's go.
So Smithy wanted to have an all-girls rock band because he hadn't had one in a few years, and there was a fair bit of girls in our year level last year that really were all really talented. So there was 9 of us and we're all in a band together, and in the end it didn't really work out because there's just too many people.
He puts lots of things aside specifically to get things for us, like if we need an instrument or something like that, he'll always go ahead and try and find one for us. And
I know when we first started writing our music, he was really encouraging us and he was helping us along the way.
None of us would have been as talented or would have even been like a band without Smithy, so yeah, it's really cool.
Then you made the transition to Traf High.
Yeah, that was tough.
What was the reason behind that?
New challenges, to work with kids that I'd worked with before. Challenge myself too, because it's pretty easy to be, the rock star in the primary school. You only need, 3 chords, you can play a pentatonic scale and the kids think you're Jimi Hendrix, When you get to a high school, you've got to put your money where your mouth is. You've got to be able to actually play, and you've got to be able to push them to the next level. And I needed that challenge too. So I'd approached the high school. I was only working 4 days a week at the primary school at that point, the year before I started here, and I said, look, I wouldn't mind trying something with some of the kids over at the primary school that I used to teach, and I ran a 10-week program for kids that wanted to actually do music, and they ended up doing an hour-and-a-half music concert, like an hour-and-a-half show of various songs. A lot of these kids were involved in it, not so much the younger ones.
So we've recorded an original that Alyssa wrote. That was 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah.
What would you say is one of the most rewarding things about your job?
Seeing kids develop a love for music. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't mind if it's classical, if it's jazz, if it's rock, if it's Bieber. I don't have to love it all because music is completely subjective. It's about what you like, and if letting kids learn and play music that they like is going to make them want to play more music, then I don't think there's a wrong answer there, So the biggest part for me is seeing kids actually enjoy playing. And then kids wanting to play older stuff like America tunes or Dire Straits or things like that we're now discovering these kids are listening to this music. And that kind of is good because I look at that and go, I can really get into that too, and that does make the job easier than just playing the same 3 chords over and over again.
I came to Traf and everybody was really, you know, music inclined and they all loved it. And I just loved the vibe as soon as I walked in. Everybody was happy and it was just where I wanted to be.
He's a bit of a legend, the old Smithy. Yeah, he's really great. He loves it when we have fun. You can see it on his face, and that's the only reason he does it. He doesn't do it because, you know, he's made to do it. He just does it because he loves it, and does it because he loves it when we have fun and loves it when we, you know, produce music and all that sort of stuff. So, no, he's really good.
He's really encouraging, helps a lot with everything, and just keeps us on track, really.
He's helped with my confidence a lot, so yeah, got me to where I am now, you know, pushed me into the band that I'm in as well, so yeah.
He really pushes us to be better musicians in, well, every way that we can be, I guess, and yeah, he's really good at organising all this stuff.
Oh, I love him. Like, my favourite, I've even said this to my mum, my favourite thing is when you get off stage, like you've just done something and you've just performed, and you look in Smithy's eyes and he's just so proud. It's my favourite look. It's wicked. I love Smithy as a music teacher. He's so supportive.
Ever had a student want to do Nickelback?
Yes, I have, and it's the drummer that you spoke to earlier. And everyone rags on him for that, but that's okay. These kids used to say, oh, I've always been told I'm a bad kid. But, you know, when I get to play music, I'm not that kid, and that means a lot.
Is there anything that you would say to other schools about trying to encourage students to get involved in music or get the schools to start up music programs?
Listen to the kids and the kids' needs. And just because something's been taught the same way for 100 years, 200 years, doesn't necessarily mean it's the right way still to teach. It doesn't mean it's wrong, but variety is the spice of life. So there's more than one style of music, there's more than one artist out there, and there's more than one way to teach music.
Good on you, Smithy. Thank you so much.
No worries,
good to meet you.
Thanks a lot.